of Edith, Finch. X. What button do I press? Well, I don't know what button.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Okay, I can walk. Can I run? I don't know.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
It's a pretty game. Wrong button. X that. Circle that button.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Shut you. Just keep walking.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I got a pretty necklace.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I'm gonna stay away from there. Seems like a bad place. Just gonna stay on the main road. Cause no one wants to get murdered. Then turns out that's a shortcut.
This way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
It's a nice game. Bambi, is that you? Bambi? Can I follow Bambi? Please? Pretty please? Can I?
That game free?
Yeah. I'm here with,
is,
well, JW is just in the mic.
Even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
I mean,
but now I have questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Okay. So, there's a bunch of people in my family. There's Lewis, Milton, Gus, Don, Gregory, Kai, Walter, Odin, Eddie, Stephen, Ingeborg, Sam, Clavin, Barbara, and Molly. Woo! Home. This is. I lived in this place.
I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Hold up, this is where I lived. I mean, that top part don't look stable. Looks like it's gonna fall. Turns out I could have not walked from the wood.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Well, okie dokie. Hello, home.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Start a little back area. Yep. How about back door? I didn't know this game had riddles and stuff.
I heard something moving around in the garage.
Uh-oh. Watch it be a raccoon. Gonna die.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I'm ready to die. I know what's gonna happen.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Can I just play with the light? Nope.
For the first time in years, I
shut
felt
the
like
door.
I was home.
Oh, I was home. Can I take the fridge?
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
What do I do? Food.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Molly's a cat. Okay.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like
What?
a bomb had gone off, killing everyone
Whoa.
but sparing the furniture.
What happened to your house? Does something happen to your
My
house?
mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Oh, there's a...
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Cat peep in there.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Well, okay.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Oh, no house in that Calvin Klein's room. There's nothing there. Please don't sue me.
Whenever
Bigfoot.
people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Well, I'm famous. Well, no. Family members famous.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
What happened when we left?
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Okay. What's in Barbara's room?
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
That's depressing. I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just looking around.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Is there anything here?
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Why is a book locked?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Kitty painting?
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Oh, is this Barbara's room?
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Oh. There's a drawer.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
What's in that cage, though?
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
can I do in her room?
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
What happened to her?
I got Mirage, Julian.
Good job. I'm trying to, here, watch on my stream. I'm trying to find something. Oh, there's a book. I'm dumb.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Don't tell me you ate your gerbil.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Okay.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Can I not go to sleep?
I ate a lot of things that night.
These are fake fruits, little girl. No, you shouldn't be eating these.
I kept eating and eating.
You can't eat toothpaste. Oh. She's gonna die. She ate fake food, a bottle of
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Don't tell me you tried to eat a bird.
And suddenly, I was
What?
a cat.
Do I jump? Okay.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
I'm a cat.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Meow. Parkour cat right here. So good at parkour. Meow. Meow.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Where'd that bird go? Sneaky does
I
it.
could tell she was getting really tired.
Oh, come on, bird.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
Oh no!
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
I don't know where rabbits go. I just found the rabbits. So let me make a U-turn. Where are the rabbits? Rabbit. Rabbit.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
I don't know what happened to this little girl, but she likes birds and animals.
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
I'm a dopey shark. Oh. Whee.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean.
Almost getting hit by a
Now,
car.
I was hungrier than ever.
So silent.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Where'd it go? Oh. You can't hide, little movie. I'm gonna get you. I can smell blood. I'm gonna get you. I thought I tore off.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.
Oh god.
When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Whoa, what am I? Oh.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
This is confusing.
I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Oh.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
It's a toilet.
I got closer and closer.
This is your room. You're dead.
all of my stomach started growling.
And you ate
And
yourself.
suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Did you die of paranoia?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
How'd she die? I gotta check under the bed now. I want out.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Okay. She ate her gerbil food. Can I go now? No. Stop it. What do I do? Oh.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past.
Okay.
Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
She has a lot. Birds.
Julian, I'm gonna go play with my friend now.
Okay.
Her room was like a museum.
What?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
That's everything now. That was
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Bird.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Do I go back out this door now? Can't get out through there.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
I guess I gotta go over here. Any secrets? Yep. Open.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Oh.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
It's a tiny space. Thought it was floating. Soldier space.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh yeah, I'm pro swinger.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
I didn't know I could bend both feet.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Don't say let go.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
I'm getting pretty high.
I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
One hadn't
then
picked
maybe
up.
he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
I should be slowing down. Oh no.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Is there a secret so I can... Because... Yeah, Sam's the other guy. Oh. Butterfly. Whoa.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Just gonna open that.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
There's... Whoa.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
She got a diary somewhere?
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Uh-oh.
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
I actually could have...
She found Rick's crutch and imagine the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh. I'm just ready for a jump scare. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Oh, I just backtracked.
Old Finch rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
I like how it's all cartoony. But wrong door.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
You're dead, baby.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Oh.
And how he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara. There's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
I have the feeling I'm just gonna get murdered.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
Well, what do I do then?
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
I think he did. By how hard he hit the floor, I think he did.
The hookman had vanished.
Yep.
She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
I'm dead.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Whoa. Well, now we know
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Walter.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
I'm gonna check back this room, see if I can find that other guy. That's where I came. Is there some way to get here or there?
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
That was a basement key. Well, there's nothing for me here now. Oh, music box is downstairs. Yep. Someone done fell. I'm dead. I'm gonna die to it, right? Probably. Yep, it's saving.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Who,
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Walter?
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Open sesame.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
Just go stay on the side of the train.
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Open.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made, trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
And you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Such great security, guys.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Am I wearing
What kind
any
of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edith's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edith, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Am I supposed to find something with the telescope?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
Donna, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. I don't know why, I just really want to see what Sam's thing was.
Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Climbing a ladder, that's probably unsteady. Surprised.
But looking back on it now,
good.
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
I'm pregnant. My stomach's kinda large. I feel like I was supposed to walk on that glass. What am I talking about grass for? Oh, there's a ladder here.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Oh, Sam, that guy.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
What am I supposed to take a picture of? What am I taking a picture of? Well, now there's two buttons I can take a photo of. Am I taking a picture of the sky? Come on, what am I taking a picture of? What is...
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Nothing quite like being outside.
Was I
Hey!
supposed to take a picture again?
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Finally.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't... Great shot, Dawn!
Ooh, right in the neck.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
That's, some sad stuff.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Where do we go now? Back down? Can I go back? No. Hello.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
I control this duck. I am...
Come over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
are in my duck army.
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
Yeah.
Lost in his imagination.
There you go, Mr. Whale. I lost. Oh, there's the turret with
Silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand. About Gregory.
Oh no. Can I go to the surface?
Not everything.
I think I'm down.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. He'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Whoa, my phone just rebooted. My controller just rebooted. Well, now we know what happened to a baby. He did. Ugh.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may just cry.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Ooh. Doing circles. Hey Dad, can you see my amazing loop-de-loops? Oh, am I supposed to be doing something? Oh, yes.
Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Oh, I got tons of stuff. Steal everything.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Uh-oh. Did it crush me?
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam.
Crush me, but I'm dead.
But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
What about Dawn? Was Dawn too cool to hang out with them?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
That's depressing.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
This is where Dawn is.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Ow, I just slapped my hand on a wall. I shouldn't have used that pole. 'Cause I want to know Dawn's story. Climb it again. I know you're 22 months pregnant, but that doesn't matter. We're trying to find your family's history. Oh.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Hey, look, it's Edith.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal, but it didn't last.
Oh, I'm supposed to go outside.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday. when Edie gave him a castle.
Walk around the door. This is interesting.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Whoa. Flip book inside of a flip book. I like it.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Disappeared.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Okay.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
How come in the beginning I didn't notice my stomach was a little bigger than normal people?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Oh.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh yeah, the fish place. Fish boy.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Did drugs? Uh-oh. Take it out.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Am I actually winning a maze?
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Oh no.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
Give me the
So I
fishy.
let him go on.
Give me more fishy.
I even encouraged him.
See, bigger.
It seemed very promising at first.
I hear a doggy.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
Yes,
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
I'm stuck.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Oh, it's a fish trap.
He no longer spoke at the cannery.
Wow.
But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
I don't even know.
Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished.
Oh, I got cards.
He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
I love chopping me
It
some
became a
fish in the
game for
morning.
him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
It's already a town.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Feel bad.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
No, Mom, I gotta chop my fishes. Chop the fish today keeps your boss happy.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
I am male, so I'm going this
handsome queen.
path. Wait, a handsome queen. That don't sound right. Those are some vibrant colors.
The queen was on her own quest for
Serpents.
sinister serpents.
Whoa. Whoa. I don't even need to click a button to grab the fish.
He followed the sound of her
Electric guitar.
electric sitar.
Am I supposed to run over the notes?
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
So it's like a real game now.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Fish, head, throat. Fish, head, throat. Fish, head, throat. Fish.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
An emperor. A dictator. A ruler.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
I can't even touch my own cards. I have
And then it
this
struck him
massive arm.
that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
There's a lot of cards.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Straight. Oh, really? Why is there blood everywhere?
He began to forget the world we know.
Oh, is that everyone? Okay, there.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Oh, this fish gut.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
I'm not even chopping fish. He's just sitting there. Do I go somewhere? So I look at myself. Different angles. Is that where I go? No, that's where I came. But I mean, I'll try. Just launching fish back in the sea. No, I don't go there. Where do I go? Oh, I'm very much so blind.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
I'm king. That can do nothing. Oh. I'm on Lewis. So.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting you. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Kinda depressing.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
No, don't.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
I didn't even know he was Indian. No, don't go back in. Out. Oh my gosh. Am I supposed to find a way out? Yep.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Sorry I was gone for so long.
But I understand why we left.
Something over here?
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
I have a feather of my own.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Oh. Open sesame. I said open.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
It's straight.
I got turned around.
How? I walk straight though. Okay?
I started seeing things.
Grandma, no. Just keep walking straight.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain. but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Oh yeah. Meow. Half-line.
A few years went by.
Blow.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while.
I kind of don't want to touch her if she has sick.
And then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Pretty depressing.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
Who got you pregnant?
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Oh God. I think I know where I am. Yep.
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself.
I know where I am.
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Pretty funky house. Interesting stuff. That's Edith. Oh look, it's the drug addict kid, Lewis, right? Lewis. Oh! He got his own little soldier right there. Milton. Oh. Replay story is now available. Select Edith to play from the beginning. Well, I'll see you guys and gals in the next stream. I know it was boring, but see you guys later.